Why did the student eat his homework? Because his teacher told him it was a piece of cake. School of Beards, Chapter 22, Beyond Beardery. This has definitely become one of our longest sagas, and I'm proud of it. I'm real proud of you, Emerald Aussie. Good day. I don't really have an intro to this one. Well, I'm glad you're honest about it. If you guys have missed the previous entries, there's a playlist in the description. If you didn't know, it's usually there, unless I forget. I do have a warning, though. This first story gets heavy. I will try to lighten it up in the second story, but there's no way around it. If threats against school, even written in the most YouTube-friendly way possible, are upsetting to you, then skip this one. This is the reality of being a teacher, so welcome to it. I mean, that's the reality of being a teacher, but only in like the last decade. Something horrible happened in America. I don't know if I'm qualified to talk about it in a neckbeard YouTube video, but culturally, my people are suffering. Anything between a set of asterisks is not what was said, but is me trying to use language that is YouTube friendly. I think you can probably figure out the context. YouTube has loosened the reins a whole lot, but yeah, we'll play it safe. That's cool. Story 1, Math Beard over Beards. So the last time I shared a story about Math Beard, Red seemed to borderline defend her. Perhaps I didn't truly convey how incompetent she is. Or maybe it's easy to overlook if you don't have to bloody deal with her every bloody day. Either way, I dare anyone to try and defend her after this one. Writing this story is my outlet so I don't cross a line into a very career-limiting move. Oh, this is gonna be juicy. Since the last time we saw Math Beard, she has continued to be a nuisance, and I continued to get frustrated texts from Beetle about how annoying and incompetent she is. And to the commenter that thinks she has a thing for Beetle, well, I don't disagree. I never shared these because it was just more of the same, and Red defended her before, so it seemed like a moot point. So let's set Math Beard aside for now, and we will come back to her. I mean, you seem really kind of personally offended that I defended her, but I just didn't see it in the story. I gotta be honest with you. That's my first impression. Maybe if I went back and listened, I'd be like, oh, I kind of see what you're talking about, but that's not what we do. It's one and done. I try not to think about stuff too much. Anyways, this story really starts on 3/27/23. How do I know? Because it was the very same day as the incident at the Nashville private school. Beetle and I heard about that, and we were sad, but at the time, we've sort of become semi-apathetic to news like this. It's like another day, another school at this point. It's the reality of teaching in the States. I got some opinions on this, but I'm gonna let you finish. Wee One was out of state as a student delegate for a national anti-bullying program, and prior to that, she'd been staying with Mom to help with her injured dog. With Wee One gone, Beetle and I were eating dinner at Mom's and staying until bedtime to help Mom out. When we finally got home that night, Beetle checked his work email and had an email from a parent. The parent wanted Beetle to call her ASAP. Normally, we don't call parents outside of school hours, but this seemed urgent to Beetle, and this wasn't a parent known for being overdramatic, so Beetle decided to call her from his cell phone, something that we almost never do, as it's not considered best practice for parents to have our personal cell phone numbers. Beetle had her on speaker, so I heard everything. Miss Hart, this is Beetle, Kelly's teacher. You asked that I call you? Beetle started. Oh yes, thank you so much for calling me so late. I just wanted you to be aware of something that happened at school today that has raised Kelly's anxiety, Miss Hart said. Oh no, what is it? Beetle asked. I was laying on the bed catching some Pokemon on my cell phone, wondering what could be so important that it couldn't wait until the morning. Well, as you know, what happened in Nashville is one of Kelly's biggest fears. And so, it was already bad enough that she saw that in the news, but in her math class today, a student made a comment about how getting a specific weapon that is popular and doing what was done in Nashville at Standard High. This is a student that she's already uneasy about, and has told me before that he makes her uncomfortable, Miss Hart said. I mean, if he really did say that, yeah, you might want to check that kid out. Thanks for the pro tip. At this point, I let the Pokemon flee and drop my phone. Yeah, this was important. I have a pretty good idea of which student you're referring to, Beetle said. I did talk to Mr. Principal about this, and he said they're investigating, but obviously he couldn't tell me much about what they would be doing, and I know you can't either, but this student is in her English class tomorrow with you, and Kelly is so anxious that she doesn't even want to be on campus, Miss Hart said. It's such a different world than the one that I grew up in, you know? The fact that this is like a legitimate fear is just, it's kind of mind-blowing to me, honestly. Beetle says, honestly, this is the first time I'm hearing of this, so they don't exactly tell me much either. I can tell you that I highly doubt that student will be on campus tomorrow, and if so, certainly not in my class. If he is, I will do everything I can to reassure Kelly. And you have my personal cell phone number too, so feel free to reach out to me anytime, Beetle said. I do appreciate that. I will also be on campus tomorrow doing some parent volunteer work, so I'll be there if Kelly needs me, Miss Hart said. Perfect. If the anxiety becomes too much for Kelly, I'm happy to write her a pass to go hang out with you. Beetle and Miss Hart finished discussing details of the next day, and once Beetle hung up, I looked at him. Johnny? I asked, pretty sure that I knew the student in question too. I think so, Beetle said. I sighed. Great. So much for sleeping tonight, Beetle said, shaking his head. He went and fed our pets, and we got ready for bed. Once everything was done for the night, we settled into bed. If an incident starts in my room, I don't know how I would text you to ask you to call a lockdown, Beetle said. I'm pretty sure typical Beard or Gabby would hear it and call a lockdown. You focus on trying to protect your kids. I'd be fine. I have a storage closet in my cave. I'd just cram my class in there and we'd all hunker down. No one's gonna think of trying to get into a storage closet. It's you that I'm worried about, I said as I reached for his hand. Honestly, Johnny probably should have been dragged into class during school hours. I remember a time when this all first started up, and if you wore a trench coat, they'd pull you in the office and interview you. How are things going at home? Fine, I'm just an edgy boy. I have a bookcase to hide behind, which doesn't do a bit of good if it starts in my room, Beetle said. I nodded. I'm honestly glad Wee One's out of town right now and won't be on campus tomorrow. Me too. But it could happen any day, Beetle said. I nodded. I know. If it does, I pray she's in my classroom so I can protect her. Yeah, this is the type of conversation that a couple that are both teachers have in bed at night. How do we keep ourselves from being unalived by students in case our school is next? Yeah, that's our pillow talk. Sexy, huh? Some people might be into it. Don't throw that out there. So yeah, every day when my husband leaves my cave to go to his room, there is a fear in the back of my mind. What if today is the day? We say see you at lunch or see you after school, but is today the day that I don't see him again? I mean, you're kind of posing it like it's an inevitability. I mean, maybe it is. I guess it's better to be aware of it than not, but don't let that fear and anxiety cripple you. It sounds like you have a plan if it all goes down, and yeah, that's really all you can do. Anyways, OP continues, all we want to do is teach the children, and we have to worry about being human shields. And no, this is not me being political or taking a stance on anything. This is just me telling you the reality of teaching. I don't care what side you're on in the relevant debates. This is a reality that no debate can change. I mean, until you change the underlying culture that's causing things like this. But again, YouTube video for another day. This is just what it is to be a teacher and to be married to a teacher in this country today. That night, I was so exhausted that I passed out hard. I didn't dream or anything, I was just out. Beetle, well, he was right. He didn't sleep much at all. We have different ways of coping with high-stress situations. I tend to shut down, try to sleep until it all goes away, especially if it's something that I can't fight that's out of my control. But Beetle, he worries, and so he did all night long. I think the fact that they are both from different countries, not the US, adds to the paranoia a little bit. But both of those coping mechanisms, pretty not ideal, in my opinion. We prepare, we accept, we move forward. Anyways, OP says, but Mandy, Mathbeard, where's the beardery? I know, I hear ya. It's coming, I promise. Just hang in there. And so I have. The next day, Beetle and I pulled into our parking space, and neither of us made a move to get out of the car. I don't really want to be here today, Beetle said. I know, love, but Mr. Principal knows. I'm sure it'll be okay. I tried to reassure him before sighing. But neither do I. You really think Mr. Principal's gonna do anything? Come on now. We know better than that by now. Should I pop into Mr. Principal's office and chat with him? Beetle asked. I nodded. That's a brilliant idea. I know he can only tell you so much because of privacy, but maybe he can tell you something that'll put your mind at ease. Beetle nodded, and we finally got out of the car and headed inside the school. Okay, I'll stop by your room after I talk to him, Beetle said. I nodded, and we parted ways. In the interest of not dragging this story out, I won't recreate Beetle's whole conversation with Mr. Principal. I went to my classroom and tried to get ready to start my day like normal. About 25 minutes later, Beetle came in. You feel better? I asked. Beetle nodded. I do, actually. Mr. Principal said they're taking this seriously, but this student is a pathological liar and doesn't understand social norms. He believes it started as an offhand comment, and once he was given attention, he expounded on it. Okay, I get that, but it does still need to be taken seriously. Is he on campus today? I asked. He is, but he won't be in my class. I don't know if that means he's just an ISS or in the AP office, but he won't be in my room, Beetle explained. Well, that's good news, I said. Yes, the smallest possible victory. We take those. Mr. Principal said that he hadn't heard about what happened in Nashville yet when he got the report of this whole thing, so it was quite a day for him yesterday, Beetle said. Bro, how did you not hear? Did you not scroll Twitter for 5 seconds? He's really out of touch, man. I bet, I nodded, and I thought that that was the end of it. Well, it wasn't, or it wouldn't be a Beard story. The next day, so 2 days after the threat was made, Beetle had his SPED team meeting before school. They met once a week before school, and the meeting usually just consists of Beetle trying to get important information from Missy, his boss, in between Mathbeard interjecting some really stupid comments. This has become such a regular occurrence that he doesn't even normally text me to vent anymore. He has accepted that once a week he just has to listen to Mathbeard's stupid. That's why I wasn't expecting to hear from him when I got the following text. I just got more info about that incident the other day. The teacher didn't report it. One of the kids did an anonymous alert, and apparently the kid that made the threat has access. I guess he and his dad have quite the arsenal and love to go out and shoot. It's like their hobby. Hell yeah, they do. They could take these guns from my cold dead fingers. God bless America. I reread that text a couple of times as I connected the pieces in my mind. What teacher wouldn't report that sort of thing? What sort of idiot would blow that off? Even forgetting that we are mandated reporters, that is something that no one should ignore. Wait, Miss Hart said that this happened in Kelly's math class, and Kelly's math teacher is the kid whose mom you talked to. Her math teacher's Mathbeard, and her mom said it happened in math class, I texted back. Yeah, that'd be correct, Beetle texted back. So the teacher in question here's fucking Mathbeard. So she'll file a report on a kid for having earwax on their earbuds, but not for making comments about that, I replied. And there it is. The bottom drops out. You're right. I can't defend her after this. I don't even understand the logic. Right? I am not happy, Beetle said. Okay, this puts me into a whole new state of fury, I said. Really, how dumb do you have to be? I understand this kid has social skills issues and Was probably joking, and apparently he's a pathological liar too, but still, WTAF, Beetle said. So what if it's a social skill issue? This is not something you can be wrong about. What if he did it? Oops, I thought it was a social skill issue and he was lying again. My bad, I said. Yeah, it has to be reported no matter what, Beetle agreed. This is just a wild ride through and through. I'd like to just pick through Mathbeard's brain for about 10 minutes. I think 5 is about all it could handle, actually. How'd you find this out? I wondered. Missy? She didn't name names, but I know what class it happened in. She said the teacher didn't report it, but one of the students did an anonymous alert, and the campus officer in number 1 rushed up there and searched him and whatever, Beetle explained. Well, at least somebody's looking out, even if it is like a literal child. Mathbeard, what are you doing, dude? She's an idiot. She's unfixable. Okay, so Mathbeard was the one that was gonna get us all unalived, I guess. Did Missy remind everyone that we are frickin' mandated reporters? I asked. Aye, she did. She reiterated that things like that need to be shut down and always reported, because we don't know when it's a serious threat or not. It's up to admin to investigate and determine if there's a credible threat, Beetle said. Honestly, she should be terminated for that, or at least written up. She won't, but she should be, I said. Teacher shortage. Nothing was gonna happen. And no, there is no tenure for public school teachers, but there is a teacher shortage, especially in SPED. Yeah, you're right. She won't, Beetle agreed. Okay, well, how about we meet her out by her car with a lead pipe and really drive that lesson home? You can't just be like, well, nothing's gonna happen. You gotta make something happen. No, I don't advocate any of that. Don't actually do it, please. I was seething at this point. Did something this stupid even qualify as beardery? I was pretty sure this went far beyond beardery. This was like a whole nother level of stupid, even beyond the Kevin kind of stupid. I also found out that the individual that Mr. Principal was referring to that engaged with the student and gave him an audience was Mathbeard herself. Oh, it just keeps getting deeper. The twists and turns of the plot, it's thickening. I don't even know how stuff like this happens, dude. Oh my God, the meeting's over, and Mathbeard is talking to Missy, and Missy was telling her, like, what do you do if it happened again? And she had to be told again. What the fuck? Beetle exclaimed. I just sighed. Yep, if Mathbeard's in charge, we're all dead. The bell rang and I went to open my door to let my students in and greet them. I saw Mathbeard coming down the hall from the English wing, and she stopped right in front of my door to talk to a teacher standing at the door of the next room. I glared at her and had to mentally talk myself down. Every ounce of me wanted to lunge out of my room and say, "You're a mandated reporter, but you're more worried about an ESL student learning their ID number, you complete and total idiot. You're gonna put us all in danger." I didn't do that because I generally do love my job. But if looks could kill, I mean, something has to get done. That's all I know. Lead pipe on sale at Home Depot, today's sponsor. So telling this story is just my way of not snapping. Beetle's was to write an IEP goal, since Mathbeard clearly needs some extra help, so I will end this with the goal that Beetle wrote for Mathbeard. I have his permission. By next annual ARD, given instructional coaching and a swift kick in the ass, Mathbeard will independently manage her classroom without involving the tracking teachers for no good reason, as evidenced by sending 0 emails about classroom management issues. By next annual ARD, given repeated instructions, Mathbeard will report incidents of students making threats against the school, no matter her supposed logic behind why they said what they said, as evidenced by 0 teachers getting shot or fearing getting shot due to her incompetence. Not exactly a high bar, is it? That bar is kind of subterranean, but for Mathbeard, yeah, I don't think she's gonna meet those goals. And again, probably nothing is going to happen. But the train just keeps rolling, so we'll get into story 2. East or west? for our second story today, let's go a bit lighter. Amen to that. And look at a beard that isn't trying to get fellow teachers unalived. Manny Beard. Annoying, but generally harmless, and definitely the crowd favorite as far as School of Beards go. I gotta let you know. Remember Becca from chapter 17 and 19? The student that just randomly walks out of class and caused Manny's class to be evacuated? Okay, well, this story starts with her. Evidently, when Missy went to talk to Miss Dean about the issues in Manny Beard's class, the solution provided was not to actually do anything about Manny. It was to move Becca into Sonia's class, because clearly that would solve everything, of course. I mean, for that student, but you still haven't fixed Manny Beard. We're not even sure that he's fixable, although I don't think he's a completely lost cause. He's just sort of a weird dude. Of course, all this wasn't exactly the change that Beetle had been hoping to see, but it was all that he got. They moved Becca into the class period that Sonia had, that Beetle supported, so Beetle continued to have an opportunity to support Becca, which was definitely needed. It was just also clear that Manny Beard had no business trying to manage a class that Becca had been in, or any other class, to be honest, but baby steps, I guess. Yeah, we're making moves, look at us go! Beetle was already abnormally perturbed by this situation because he felt like it was putting a band-aid on a much larger issue, and a flimsy band-aid at that. Yeah, you got it from the dollar store. That's not soaking up any blood. I can't even blame this situation on Beetle being non-confrontational. What happened was out of his hands, and confronting Manny Beard about it was absolutely pointless. He went to Manny Beard's class that day like a good little soldier boy and supported the children, trying his best to avoid unneeded interaction with Manny himself. And then, where's the Pacific Ocean? Florida? A student asked. Ew, Florida. Manny replied. Ew, Florida. Perfect response. Beetle shook his head. Actually, that would be the Atlantic Ocean. The Pacific is off the coast of California. Oh yeah, that makes sense, Manny Beard said, making it clear he legitimately did not know the answer to this student's question. I suck at geography, and even I knew that one. The student was satisfied with the information he had been given, but Beetle just stared at Manny Beard. I'm not sure why Manny Beard's canyon-sized knowledge gaps still surprise Beetle at this point. I've come to the conclusion that any knowledge Manny Beard does have is simply accidental. He's like a really weird robot person. They just haven't programmed that part in yet. Beetle shook his head and walked out of the room to go to Amy's class, his next class that period. He just had absolutely no words for Manny at this point. So that was a short one, but I did want to end this on a lighter note. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things for our boy Red X. We love Red X. Thank you so much. Until the next time. I think it's a good way to go. Starting out with the horrible gun violence things, kind of bringing the mood down, and then being like, hey, Manny Beard doesn't know what a Pacific Ocean is. Okay, well, that makes me forget about all the things that were said before. No, seriously, it is a deep-rooted cultural issue within America. I don't think it has anything to do with the guns themselves, okay? Something needs to get done, and guess what? I can't tell you what it is. I have no idea. But I do thank you guys for loving me in the way that you do, for pumping the stories out and keeping us abreast of the whole situation. Let us go ahead and do chapter 23, and we'll see if we can't forget the gun violence thing entirely. That's a good plan. That's how the mainstream media works, you know? They just pile it on top. They're like, okay, we've got a new thing for you to be mad about. Seems to work for them. All right, let's get over there and do it. School of Beards, Chapter 23, Non-Stop Beardery. Yay! That's my favorite kind. I mean, I wish it would stop, but since it won't stop, you kind of gotta just, go with the flow. Embrace the madness. It's late in the year. We're all tired. Insert intro here. It's just a fact. It's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. That's the intro, right? And now on with the story. Also, you guys, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, you listen to the video this far, you're probably enjoying the content. I'd appreciate it. Story number 1, open mouth, insert foot. Tasty yum. This is a short story, but one that I consider to be a significant step forward for Beetle. And considering how much I take the piss about him not being confrontational, I feel that he does deserve credit for small victories and personal growth. Like I said, we take those. This one takes place at the Wednesday morning SPED meeting. It had been 1 week since we found out that Mathbeard was too incompetent to be a mandated reporter. Neither Beetle nor I were very happy with her. I had been lucky enough to not encounter her all week, and Beetle had done his best to keep contact minimal, in spite of her continued emails for idiocy. Set up an auto reply. That's the only way to sort this, right? Send all her emails to spam and auto reply. Unfortunately, since she and Beetle are both SPED, he couldn't really escape her any longer. It was raining that morning, and we don't get much rain here. If it rains, well, people forget how to drive. And about half the staff comes in late. I don't think it's California, but it sounds a lot like California. That meant that when Missy got to Beetle's room to hold the SPED meeting, there was nobody but Beetle in there. While they waited for everyone else to arrive, they discussed an ARD that Beetle held for a student the day before. For those that don't know, an ARD is the meeting where teachers and parents come together to discuss what supports the student's needs to best be successful. Hey, why didn't I ever get one of those? What's the deal? Slowly, people started to trickle in, and one of those that trickled was Mathbeard. She realized which student Beetle and Missy were discussing. Oh, I have that student too. She wears the same kind of jewelry as another girl, and they're friends, and I think they're into some kind of Wicca or witchcraft thing, and I don't know, it's just really dark, Mathbeard said. Normally, this is where Beetle would have shut down and started to quietly seethe. To his credit, that is not what he did. Instead, he froze and turned to her. Yeah, well, I'm super pagan, so... This made Mathbeard freeze. You are? Beetle nodded. Yeah, Greek theology. When Mandy and I got married, we had an altar to Hera to seek her blessing of our marriage. Missy nodded. There's a lot of witches that aren't into anything dark. Unless they're into Dungeons and Dragons, and then they're going to hell for sure. Okay, pause. I have said it before, but it's worth repeating. I have no issue with any religion. I have issues with people that 1, shove their religion down your throat, see Pastor Beard, 2, weaponize their religion, or 3, judge someone based on their faith, which very clearly Mathbeard has no trouble doing. It's also worth noting that Mathbeard is very Christian. Like, when we all share what we're thankful for in November around the American Thanksgiving, she always thanks God or says, may God bless you, or something like that. It irks me a bit because I don't feel like work is the place to share religious heavy messages. May God bless you is religious heavy? I don't know about that one. Seems like a bit of a reach, but all right. We could just say thank you and move on, you know? Whatever. Sometimes her messages do get very religious heavy. Oh, okay. It's not just the blessing. She's really getting into it, right? Mostly though, I just sigh. I wonder if I should write something about Zeus. Then I decided that 2 wrongs don't make a right and just move on. This was different. She was judging a student based on perceived faith. The fact is that we don't even know what this kid's faith is, just what jewelry she wore, and thus what Mathbeard perceived it to be. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everybody that shops at Hot Topic is a witch. You can check that out in the My Immortal video. Well, that'd be like a couple days ago now. It's beautiful, you love it, I'm super gothic. I'm crying tears of blood. There was a time that Beetle was super afraid for anyone at work to know his faith. I never had that problem. I don't shout it from the stage or anything, but I don't hide it if it comes up with a coworker. It's none of my students' business, although Considering we one is open with her faith and it matches ours, I doubt it's a secret either. I'm glad Beetle's spine became strong enough to proudly call out Mathbeard. I credit Red X Industries for constantly powdering his spine, thus making it stronger. Hey, we're just doing what we must because we can, or something like that.
Do what we must because we can.
Let's hope that this trend continues. Now back to the story. Beetle was very happy that Missy backed him up. Mathbeard was not. She turned red with embarrassment and started to stutter. I was just saying, she doesn't talk to anyone else except that one girl. She's just, it's weird. Imagine that, dude, Mathbeard calling people weird. You're the weirdest one out of all of us. Beetle was on a roll now. He was done with Mathbeard and was enjoying calling her out. Yes, embrace the dark side. Yeah, when Mandy and I were in high school, we only really talked to each other. Yeah, but, Mathbeard seemed to be sweating now. Like, she doesn't even say hi. Most kids will say hi to at least one classmate when they come in. I'm gonna stamp a big who gives a shit on that one. I didn't. I had my circle of friends, and if they're not in my class, I'm doing whatever in my notebook. Mandy never did, Beetle continued. She kept to herself when she was a student. And she's always been the rainbows and unicorns girl that you know today. Nothing dark about her. Not everyone is social, and that doesn't make them dark or weird. It's good that the student has one close friend that she can talk to. Mandy and I would have been lost without each other, Beetle said. I'm liking this. It's a small pushback, but it's where it counts, you know? Most people would be smart enough to just shut up and take a seat at this point. Beetle was clearly not having it today. Mathbeard was insulting his student and unintentionally our entire family as well. I'm just worried about her, that's all. Something isn't right with her, Mathbeard said. She is just fine, other than not wanting to turn her work in. Nothing sinister or dark here, Beetle countered. Okay, let's get started, Missy said. It's probably so awkward for her to sit here through this exchange and be like, well, okay, let's get some work done, people. She probably said that to stop Mathbeard from saying anything else dumb. Later, just before first period started, I needed to use the loo, so I went to the math workroom since it's the nearest loo to my cave. On my way, I saw Mathbeard, and even worse, she saw me. Good morning, she said. Oh, God. I wanted to say so much. I wanted to ask her what being a mandated reporter meant to her. I wanted to ask her if I looked dark to her since I follow Aphrodite. I was a good girl, though. I said good morning in the most monotone, flat tone ever. From me, a monotone good morning instead of the overtop perky good morning is the equivalent of an F-U. And then I walked away to use the loo, choosing not to get myself in trouble that day. Aren't workplace politics just the worst? Can't we just tell each other like it is? No, we can't. Even in society, we can't do that. That's not allowed. Mostly, I'm proud of Beetle for standing up for his student and his beliefs. Maybe my love is finally growing out of his non-confrontational ways, but baby steps. I think these videos are helping. I'm gonna keep calling him out. I'm gonna be like, come on, Beetle, buy the lead pipe, buy a baklava, wait behind her car. No, don't do it. I'm sorry, the joke's not even funny the second time. Story 2 is Brunch with Callie. Oh, we've missed her. This one happened on a Sunday. It had been weeks since I'd seen Callie, and we were missing each other, so we decided to go to brunch. It meant that I had to miss the Red X stream that day, which sucked, and if you're able to, you should watch Red X's Sunday streams. As of this writing, they are weekly and always fun. Hey, thanks for the plug. We're also doing live streams after, like, the premieres sometimes, but I understand the time slots doesn't work for everybody. If you could be here, that's great. If not, you know, just please watch the video I made for you. Thank you. Mostly brunch was just catching up. I told Callie that I was very sorry, but Beetle and I couldn't make it to California for her wedding because We needed to save for a down payment on a house. Yeah, this means we have to teach summer school again, and I'm not happy about it. Yeah, but you're putting in the work. You're making it do what it do, and soon you shall reap your rewards. Callie was super understanding and told me not to feel bad because I did feel awful. I really, really wanted to be at her wedding, but, you know, life. Can't you like rig up an iPad to roll around on a little dolly or something like that? You could go there virtually, yeah! Anyway, she told us she was enjoying her new job, but that she missed the kids. I asked her if she watched any of the School Beard videos on YouTube. Hey, get that IRL plug. I like that. Callie said, yeah, like I totally did. And thoughts? I asked. I like had to stop because I was like getting super pissed off over reliving the whole thing again, she said. I find it cathartic, and it's interesting to see a non-teacher's perspective of it all, I said. Non-teacher, yeah, I'm like a complete layman, dude. I'm just the big dum-dum sitting here reading words on the screen. But I'm happy to give you my perspective for what it's worth. Callie nodded. I can see that, and like the English beard voice is mwah, chef's kiss, but like mine, he totally stereotyped me because I like happen to be from California or whatever. I wasn't amused by that. Oh, I'm from California too, don't worry. I get to do that. I cracked up at this point. I thought it was bloody hilarious myself. So yeah, Callie was not amused, but Beetle and I certainly are. Like, totally. I can't help it, this is what I seen. I've been there, I lived it, I knew girls just like that. I'm sorry if you're not one of them, Callie, but I can't change the voice now. We've come too far. Anyway, I told her about the Pastor Beard situation, and she nodded. Yeah, like, district knows, but they can't or, like, totally won't do anything. Although, like, I don't really know if they know, like, everything, Callie admitted. He should not be in a classroom, I said. Like, he's gonna be more than that, Callie said. Beetle nodded. Miss Dean already said that Gabby isn't gonna be team leader next year, and Pastor Beard will be. Dun, dun, dun! Yeah, that's quite a fate. Callie nodded, and like, that's not all. What? I asked. Callie sighed. Like, I guess they haven't announced it yet or whatever. And okay, like, you totally didn't hear this from me. They're like removing Daria as like the department chair or whatever. Oh no, she's like my favorite character. Aside from the woodshop teacher that's only appeared once. No, I gasped. Bloody hell, who? Not Pastor Beard, Beetle asked. I honestly don't like know, but I do know that like English Beard is already telling students that he's department chair or whatever, so like maybe he knows something, Callie said. Oh my god. Bloody hell. It's gonna be English Beard or Pastor Beard. Who else could it be? I asked. Maybe Winnie? She's been there a while, and while she does stir the pot, she isn't as in your face about it as Gabby, Beetle said. I nodded. True, and she really is the only solid choice. If it's English Beard or Pastor Beard, you are screwed, love. Beetle sighed. Thankfully, I'm also sped. And really, I report to Missy above all else. I tend to doubt that Pastor Beard would take the job or whatever, Callie said. Why's that? I asked. He said that he wouldn't have taken the English 2 job if it was hard and stuff. That's why he doesn't follow the curriculum. He doesn't want to reinvent the wheel or whatever. He just teaches the way that he's always taught, and he has never taught high school. He was a middle school teacher, and he took 2 years off of teaching. They're working on grammar and other middle school skills. None of his students are going to pass state testing or whatever, Callie said. I mean, that's Miss Dean's fault, isn't it? She's friendly with them. This is just gonna be her chickens coming home to roost. But OP has a brilliant idea saying, well, that might be the key to getting rid of him. Callie looked at me. How do you mean? You know how admin stands up for cis white men around there? Oh, here we go. Is it Mr. Principal Black? I've got to pretend I didn't hear any of that. I nodded. What is one thing they care about more than protecting their pet teachers? Money. Money, money, money. Failing tests means losing funding. If his kids don't pass, that is going to get their attention. Like, you might have a point, Callie nodded. We filled her in on other happenings at Standard High, and then we decided to head out. Beetle and I had work to do, so we headed up to campus. Yeah, teachers often work Sundays, or at least we do. We ended up spending about 3 or so hours at school before heading home. It was great to see Callie, and informational, as always. I do have to wonder how all that's gonna go, but time will tell. No use worrying about it until it happens. Be aware, but don't be fearful. Story number 3 is locks, stop, bullets. Are you sure about that? Citation needed. Okay, I really hate to revisit the topic of school bullet incidents. Unfortunately, though, this is the reality of teaching in America in 2023. Bro, I was trying to run away. It just circles back and finds me. Every goddamn time. We are always hyper alert, especially Standard High School, because you see, we found out that we failed a state security check. Whoopsie. This sent the entire district into panic overdrive and resulted in our district security expert coming to our staff meeting the day after Easter to train us on keeping the doors locked. I wish I were kidding. And of course, this entire ordeal gave the Beards a perfect opportunity to continue bearding. These are the people responsible for student safety? Help us all. Help isn't coming. You gotta pull yourself out. Go buy the lead pipe. I highly encourage it. A big thing is no more door props. If you got a door prop and want it, take it home. We'll be throwing away every door prop in the school tonight, number 1 said. I looked at Beetle. We were parked in our Statler and Waldorf seats again, commenting on the idiocy of this all. How am I supposed to supervise the hallway during passing period and hold my door open for kids to come into class when my door opens into the room? I asked. Great question, Beetle nodded. We noticed English Beard's hand shoot up about this time. Oh God, we both groaned. Yes, English Beard, number 1 asked. So, do we have to have the tutorials in the hall now? Because I can't hold the door open for students and tutor them, English Beard said. Is he bloody serious? I whispered to Beetle. Number 1 took a breath before answering.
Boy.
No, English Beard. You can have the tutorials in your room. You just have to be more structured. Give students a cutoff time. If they come after that, they don't get into the room. Manny Beard raised his hand next. I don't have a door prop because my door doesn't automatically close like some of the others. Number 1 sighed. That's fine. Just make sure you keep your door closed and locked. I decided if everyone was asking these stupid questions, well, my question didn't seem so silly now, so I raised my hand. Yes, Mandy, number 1 asked. We have 2 opposing directives now. How can I be in the hall monitoring during the passing period when my door opens to the inside and I gotta be in my room in order to hold it open? I asked. I saw several other teachers nod as if they had the same question, and I felt way less stupid now. I mean, it's not really a stupid question. 2 opposing directives, I get that, please advise. Number 1 nodded. Can you, stand in the hall and just stand close enough to your room to keep the door from closing? Yeah, just stretch your foot way out there, it's gonna be fine. All the teachers in this school look ridiculous now. In other words, just let the door hit my back every time a student comes into the room because it slams shut. Awesome! Yeah, I'm not gonna go with a follow-up. Thank you, sir, I said. Should have followed it up. Should have dragged this whole thing out for 30 minutes. Been like, why are you not understanding that this doesn't work for me? For the next 10 minutes, we heard over and over about how important door locks were and why doors need to be locked. And not once did anyone address the fact that the Nashville perpetrator used a weapon to get through the locks. I sighed and wrote in my notebook, Locks are the savior, and then showed it to Beetle. He sighed and nodded with an eye roll. I'm not gonna say we should give all the teachers guns. Like, Mannybeard definitely doesn't get a gun, okay? But maybe some of them should get some guns, you know? It's a good deterrent. Make a nice hard target. Mathbeard raised her hand. I grumbled. Yes, Mathbeard, number one asked. Mathbeard stood up. How are we gonna do state testing under a lockdown? Because the kids aren't testing in their normal classes, are they? Number one looked at Mathbeard. Sorry, Mathbeard, I don't think I understand what you're asking. Just like, if the students are in different places, how will that work? Mathbeard attempted to clarify. Bitch, what the hell you talking about? Sit down. Form a thought before it comes out of your stupid mouth. Number one looked very confused. Mediabeard piped up then. She wants to know how we're gonna handle kids being in different rooms on testing days. I'm guessing the same way. We prep the room prior to the student's arrival so we can hold the door. And once testing starts, shut the locked door. Beard speaks beard, I whispered. I'm glad you aren't comprehending anything of what they're trying to say, because neither am I. Number one nodded. Oh yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mediabeard, and it'll only be for one day for each subject. Math will test in the math wing, English in the English wing, etc. We'll also, of course, have the computer labs available for testing as well. Cue to me being displaced for every single day of testing instead of just one, I whispered. Beetle put a hand on my shoulder. We all have to retreat from our caves sometime. Just ask my wife. 1 hour later, after the importance of locks had been explained in every way possible within the parameters of the English language, the meeting finally, mercifully, ended. And we had the rest of the day to work in our rooms, except for a couple of department meetings that I had. We got a few follow-up emails later that day asking us to call the library if we needed to send kids down there, because the library was going to be locked as well. Although, since all books are being banned, who really needs a library anyway? Wait, the books are being banned? What is this? This really is like always the same thing that happens, right? Big thing, national media coverage, everybody freaks out for a month, and then it's back to normal within like 6 months. But I don't know, whatever makes you feel more secure, I guess. On that note, that concludes another woeful tale of Standard High School. As of the writing of this, we have 6 weeks of school left, and then summer school. Red, I suggest making a compilation at the end of this school year. Should I continue to tell my tales next school year, we could have a fresh start. But it's your channel, so you do what you like. I can't live your life for you. Hey, that's my line. Lol. It's not, I take suggestions. It's already 12 hours long. I'm pretty sure. I might have to find some way to compress it, but we'll see. Anyway, thanks for reading or listening. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, show Red some love, show me some love, share all the love. Until next time. A very interesting state of affairs. This really is just bureaucracy at work. Hey everybody, come sit down and let's give you conflicting directives about how important the locks on the door are. Oh, cool, great. I didn't think about that at all. It's the dumbest thing ever. These are your tax dollars at waste, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely think education is important, but come on, man, have a point, you know? You're killing me out here. On top of that, I was really glad to see Beetle given what for regarding his religion to Mathbeard. That's definitely baby steps, but you know, we take those, like I said. Also, Brunch with Callie, I'm hurt that she didn't like the voice, you know? That cuts me real deep. I made it special for you. It's a voice that's never been heard on the channel before, and she hates it. She hates it. Oh, God. No, that's fine. Do what you do. I gotta do what I gotta do. And right now, I gotta ask you to like, comment, and or subscribe on the video. Hooray! You know, we got lots of links in the description. You could share those around on social medias, the video or my social medias, whatever you want to do. Thanks to my Patreon patrons, my YouTube channel members, very, very important. I'd like to thank you so much. Justin Carlisle, Vladimir Dragonov, Babsy Kunvier, Press X to doubt, Chains of Time, Webb, Ginger, Arthur Morgan, Quack, Quack, Bang, Edward Polk, Gamer's Folly, The Fez Wearer, Valley-Eyed Crane, Robert Thibodeau, Jacqueline Schindler, Shy Dolphin, Lady, Griffin, Bedazzled Miz, Jerry the Barber, Green Gore 67, Vaz the Rat, Inciting a Riot, Abe Wells, Sean Cantwell, Chronic Chef, Tusky Gibisu Soggy, Zachary Rossman, Ghost Raven, Tally Marks, and Squirrel Dad, Bearded Snake, John Indoors, Risk of Failure, Don Breaker Drake, Project Duke, Sam Meyer, Scuds, Joanna Ross, Fire Drake. That's 2 Drakes. Hey, tip your waitress. Me, Jerry, Sue Jerry, just video watching mute. Selwyn 666, Samantha, Origami Steve, Train Boy, she's a Angel, Dark, Heaven Sent, Grimm's Tribe, Tooth, Plushy, Florentic Waver, Dungeon Bat, Billy D, Brandon Ashcraft, Phantom, Danica, Skylar, Morning Star, The Gypsy Bubber, and Death's Flagship. Head over to Patreon. High on Caffeine, Dawn Breaker Drake again, Miss Black, Holly Hoen, Robert Allen Waits, Camille Sarah, Fluxer Jerry, and Yemeth. Origami Steve comes back around again. We got Santa Jerry, Silent Revolver, Vertical Loop, Zathorus 28, Jerry's R5 Barkar, Jerry's Kitsune, and Frankenberry. Ain't that a hiding bitch though? Assassin Pug Jerry, Billy D, Blade the Hero, Commander J Tank, Dirty Little Jerry, Dr. Lark, Stooge, you're getting the leg beard. I said no. No. Oh God, no! Epoxier, Aaron Era, Espars, Fervid, Ginger Griffin, Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, HMO, Mayor. Your blood's got ghosts in it. You should do Coors Light about it. India, Irish Pirate, Irradiated Jam, J. M. Coon, Jerry Blacktail, Joe Sue Guzman, Juicy Lucy and the Adventures of Daddies, Saggy Baggy Gross, Jukebox Jerry, Kake Car, Cat Lady Italian, Greyhound Dino, Lady Nix, Lauren Crow, Legitimate, Girth, Livy O'Brien, Lord Jerry-O, Leader of the Thunder Jerrys, there's Luca Vex, like and subscribe. I did this incorrectly. Whoopsie daisy. Just give me a minute. Mad Monk, Melgar the Destroyer, Metal Fector, I'm here cause my cringe senses are tingling, mine too. Needless King 89, Niv Vethra Cathreptis, Prince Regicide, Jerry Kinsa, Jerry Beth, Ravencraft, Helmodius the Fourth, Sorita the Lolita, Scarlet Coven, Sergeant Gay Cop, Silo, Imp Spinal number 21, Stephanie Goodner, Storm Jerry, Synaptic, Boomstick, Taco Mao, the Littlest Two, the One True Fusky, trying to find another marble to get back to the real world. Oh! VC3, Viking Jerry, Vladimir Dragonov again, Volks, Wiki Tack, Zachary Rossman again. I'm so happy for the double dippers. Not another Jerry Cage, Alex 9, Bad Penny Lane, Captain Clown Jerry, Carcass, Third Stuff, Venom Jerry, O'Farnham, we love you so much, Jace Christensen, A Normal Jerry, Amara Alder, Atomic Jerry Zilla, Breaker of the Tom Army, Big Dad Wolf, Broken Spine, Horseradish, Aguilar, Cake Jerry, the original, Different Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Jakarta Panda, Corey Holiday, Cowabunga Jerry, Cryptides, Dark Wolf, 76, Defon Jerry, Defter Tuna Deku, Delta Grex, and Jerry Boo's daughter, Ghost of Alpha, Grave on 365, Half Slavic Jerry in a tracksuit, He Cannot, Janitor Jerry, can't think of anything funny right now. Me either. That's why I did the lounge music thing. I hope it's working for you. Jeffrey! Jeffrey! His name is Jeffrey! Jerry, but with 2 S's and an E. Some might say he's Jesse. Jerry Springer, the results are in. You are not the beard. Jerry the sussy baka. Jerry's mom's got it going on. Jerry Roxer's JRPG. Machia City, maybe next time. Midnight Moonflower, Mr. Gas Mask, Not Invisible, Angel Raptor, Art Scott, Corsat, Snary that's Nom Jerry, if you didn't know, Spoonie the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerry, Ton the Gypsy Barber. Oh, they call me Jerry Two Knives. This is purely mercantile transaction. I'm so glad, I'm getting tired. To Infinite Jerry and beyond. Tokyo Bird Trickster Uncale. Vaughn, Whimsy, throws 2 liter Mountain Dew, grow my neck beard, grow. It's Jerry time. Holds Red X Morpher. Hygiene. Again, it's Jerry time. Holds Red X Morpher. Humility. And thank you to my $1 patrons as well. Couldn't do it without you. Hey, you people. You're so very beautiful. I don't want the song to end quite yet. Make sure you like all the things, buy the merch and whatever else. Because I sing. And I think that about wraps it up. Join them if you can. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, people. You're all so beautiful. They really do help to keep me afloat. They're just the biggest MVPs. If you can join them, help me out. That's huge. If you can't, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there, lock your doors, wash your hands. And of course, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.
It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.